Alright, so let's get started on our stack column chart. So our stack column chart is up here. So we can just click on stack column chart and it's going to give us this visual here. This is popping up over here. Now if you want this to show up, if you just want the visuals to show up over here, all you got to do is just click on build and now all your visuals will be here. So we'll just continue to keep the build here in this pane right here. So as you can see, now we have our stacked column chart. So in our x-axis, this time we're gonna, instead of the value, we're gonna add the year here. So we'll add the year in our x-axis, and then in our y-axis we'll add the sales. So it'll look like this. And we see we have a legend. So if you want to add a legend, you can just go ahead and do the regions in your legend. As you can see, I dropped it instead of selected it. So it's two different options you can do. So you can either drop it and select it, or you can just select it, select add data, and then just add that data there. All right, so now we see what our stack column chart is looking like. So now that we have that, we can go into the format in this visual. So you can either hit this paintbrush right here, or you can hit this paintbrush over here, and it takes you to format the visual. We can just minimize this pane so we can have maximum space. We can also go ahead and minimize the data pane also. And now we can just step through this. So first off, we're gonna eliminate sum of out of our title and just say sales. And then we're gonna change our font to our own desired aesthetics here. And I'll give you the opportunity to do that. And just keep in mind that you can also add subtitles. So if you want a subtitle here, you can add a subtitle. So it's sales by year and region. And you can just add a subtitle if you want to. Let's just say, we'll just add this as our subtitle, stack chart. And you can also change the font as well as the horizontal alignment. If you want to add a divider, you can also do that. And if you want to add customized spacing, you can also do that. So you can feel free to pause and play around with that. You can also change your x-axis order. So if you want the latest year to be first, you can come here and change it to categorical. In the x-axis here, you see you have a type, you have a range. You can set the range if you want to do that. Feel free to pause at any time to play with those features. You can also change the font size as well as the font color. And you can also change the display unit. So our x-axis is just the year, so there's nothing really to change here. We know it's the year, so we can just take off the year here. And if we go to our y-axis, again, we have our range, where you can play with that if you want to see what that looks like, as well as our values. You can change the color on your values. And like I said, feel free at any time if you want to pause this to look at some features. As I step through this, feel free to pause. We can also turn off our title. Right here it says sum of sales. We can get rid of that. We can also turn our legend off. Again, this is just like our original stack bar chart. And we can do the same thing here with our legend. Is we can change our legend text font to a different color as well as a different size. If we want to change it to a different size, we can also change the position. So if you want to change the position, you can do that. You can also just turn it off altogether if you just want to have no legend. All right, so just keep that in mind. In our grid lines, again, we have a horizontal and we have a vertical. So you can change the colors, you change the transparency, you can change the line style here. So I'll give you a chance to choose your own desired aesthetics. If you want to change the dashed array, you can do that here in custom. So I'll give you the chance to just pause this and just change it to your own desired aesthetics. You can also turn on your zoom sliders here in your stack column chart. And you can also come here to where your columns are. And you can change the series to all, or if you have what we have here set up with the legend, you can change the Midwest color to another color. You can also come here and change this to another color as well, to your own desired aesthetics. If you want to add a border, you can also add a border. to each one of the individual bars. And again, if you want to add a ribbon look, you can add the ribbon look, as well as turn on your data labels and your total labels also. As you can see here, when you turn on your total labels, you have some decimal places that appear that aren't pleasing to the eye. So you can set this display unit to none and change this to 2. And it will get rid of those extra zeros for you. You can also turn on the background if you want to turn on the background. And that is how that will look. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you create a stacked column chart.